My motivation in becoming a doctor was inextricably linked to my faith. I felt the call of God on my life to serve God by serving people in need, and I needed a tangible skill to do that.
So after graduating from a small Christian school in Texas, Kent Brantly came home to Indianapolis and followed that call to serve at the Indiana University School of Medicine.
Dr. Brantly is really a unique individual. He has a great clarity of purpose. He has a very strong faith and a love for humanity.
He earned his degree in 2009 and began his residency in Texas, all the while looking for a way to fulfill his calling. He found it in a post-residency program run by the humanitarian aid organization Samaritan's Purse.
They had this 2-year program for doctors immediately out of training, right after residency or fellowship, who felt called to a career in medical missions.
He applied, was accepted, and in October of 2013, the Brantly family moved to Monrovia, Liberia.
When we moved to Liberia, the top problems that we thought we would be encountering were the things you think of in a place like Liberia: malaria, tuberculosis, typhoid.
Ebola wasn't even on their radar.
Not only was it not on our radar, it was on no one's radar.
But that was all about to change, first in neighboring countries, then Liberia, and finally Monrovia. As the threat grew closer, Dr. Brantly and his colleagues prepared their facilities. A chapel became an isolation unit. Protocols were refined, and in June of 2014, the first patients arrived.
From that day on, my life was consumed with treating patients with Ebola. It became very long days of suiting up in the PPE, of going into the unit multiple times per shift to care for the patients as we got more and more.
He experienced all the things that his patients went through, and that speaks volumes for our patients when they see that we're willing to enter into their disease, into their fear, in order to help them.
I was involved in treating patients with Ebola for about 7 weeks before I woke up sick. And then on Saturday, July 26th, which is Liberian Independence Day, they sent off my test, which came back positive that night.
Positive for Ebola. He remained isolated in Liberia for 10 days before being evacuated to Emory University Hospital in Atlanta. There he made a full recovery. Following his time in Liberia, Dr. Brantly became an advocate for Ebola patients throughout the world. He met with President Obama, testified before Congress, and was named a Time magazine Person of the Year.
The deepest desire of our heart is to go back to the kind of work we were doing before Ebola. We still feel the tug of that call to serve people in places of great need. Right now, that means Fort Worth, Texas, and I work in the county hospital system here, serving a largely indigent population. And some days I have to remind myself that I'm living out that calling here where I am.
Kent Brantly really embodies our values in the School of Medicine and what it is our graduates are here to do, which is to go out, serve others, improve health and well-being of everyone that they can. And I think he's a source of inspiration for us. He's put his own life at risk, carrying that out. He's inspired all of us to look carefully at how can we have more impact on those around us.
Going to IU is a huge blessing. I am who I am today in part because of the influence of those who trained me and taught me.